Java, first form. Let's create our first graphical user interface application. So we're going to build this simple little application based on one window where we get to do several calculations based on several different formulas. So that's our goal. So where do we start? What we're going to do is we're going to come up here to source, and I've got a project already set up here. So we're going to go to source, we're going to click to new, and we're going to pick JFrame. Okay, we'll give our JFrame a name, JFrame 1. And now we have this basic frame. This is going to be our basic canvas in which we can lay on text fields, buttons, radio buttons, labels. Okay, this is where we get to put all our controls on this frame. So in order to put those different controls on here, we need to go to Window and Palette. And what we're going to be looking at are the swing controls. Now, I do want to point something out here. When Java first came out with the graphical controls on that, they started off with a thing called AWT, and it stands for Advanced Windows Toolkit. And basically, those use native calls based on the platform. They later decided to update those controls, and they moved to Swing. Now, Swing is pure Java. So if you need to move stuff between different platforms, Swing is the better choice. Now, when AWT first came out, okay, it was quite fast compared to Swing. So Swing AWT came out first, then was followed by Swing. And the Swing controls, when they first came out, were very slow. But now the speed difference is hardly noticeable on that. So we're going to add a text field from our swing controls. We'll just lay it here on our JFrame. Okay, now I want to point some things out what you're looking at here. First off, I want you to look right here. We've got source and design. So the design modes means that we can actually pick up our controls, move them anywhere we want. We can add controls to our frame. So it's that visual reference up here where we can lay our controls onto a frame. If we need to put code behind that control, it's going to be underneath source. So this is where we'll do all our coding for our different controls. Now I want you to look here to the right. So we're going to look at this thing called properties. Okay, so properties right here. Properties set the physical characteristics for each of the controls. So we'll look right here at some of the major ones here. So if we look here, is it editable? We can change the background color of our text field. We can change how wide it is. We can change the font. We can change the font color, the foreground color, whether it's left align, right align. And I really want you to pay attention to text, because text is what we set. So we're either going to put, we're going to set this property, text. So this allows us to put information into the text field or pull information out of the text field. And then the last thing we have here is tooltip. So if we hover over that text box, that text field, what we can do then is give a little hint of what we should do. So for instance here, we could say, please enter data. Now I'm going to go ahead and clear that text field because I want to make it blank. So I'll go ahead and clear everything out on that. Now if you look here, our size shrunk. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a nice size of 10 in here. So we've got to set our width on that. Next I want to show you here bindings. And basically what bindings do is they allow us to change or code different parts of our program dependent upon another part of our frame or control. So we can bind to different controls and have our program do things. Events. This is a pretty important one too. Events means action. Okay, so here's where we're looking for key presses, we're looking for mouse movement, we're looking for if something was entered. Okay, and we can see some of those examples right here. Was there a key pressed? Was there a key typed? Okay, did the mouse move? Okay, was the mouse released? So based on the actions from the user via the keyboard or mouse, we can make our program do different things. Let's look over here at code. Okay, there's several parameters we can change here in code, but the most important one I want to show you right here is the variable name right here, jtextfield1. Okay, that's the name of our box, our text field. Now that's not very descriptive on here, so what we should probably do here is name that to be a more descriptive name. So I'm going to call it jtextfield number 1. I'll go ahead and hit enter. Now look what happened. Right here we can always see the name of our control, and it changed right there. So what I want to point out to you in this first part here are just a couple different things here. Here is our palette of controls. Okay, and we'll also be getting into menus and filters and containers a little bit farther down the line. We have here our source and design. So we're in our design mode now, but if we need to lay code in behind it, we're going to click on source. Okay, every control has properties. Okay, so if we click on the properties here, we can set the relevant properties for every control we lay on there. Events, this is the action. Okay, so we're looking for, was something typed? Was a mouse moved? Was a mouse clicked? Did something get focus? So we're looking for the action. Based on the action, we can have our program do something. And under code, okay, this is where we can actually change the name of that control. So this is where we're going to end for the first part here of our first form, and we will pick this up by adding more controls here in the second part.